heaven?
No. It's Iowa.
Hey, Eric, is it true you diddled one of them Minnesota girls?
No, not true.
Because I heard you gotta thaw out their coochie before you can stick it in. I reckon it ain't worth the trouble.
I don't know what it is about you, but the more I talk, the more you talk, the more you give me the willies.
Why don't you shut up, you little peckerwood?
I don't want you anywhere within earshot.
We're talking the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford on the Pot of Dreams.
His children didn't know how their father made his living, or why they so often moved. They didn't even know their father's name. He regretted neither his robberies nor the 17 murders that he laid claim to. And on September 5th, 1881, Jesse James was 34 years old.
Can't believe I'm sitting with none other than Jesse James. Many's the night I stayed up, my eyes open, my mouth open, just reading about your escapades. They're all lies, you know. It is interesting the many ways you and I overlap. You're the youngest of 3 James boys, and I'm the youngest of 5 Ford boys. You have blue eyes, I have blue eyes. You're 5 feet 8 inches tall, I'm 5 feet 8 inches tall. I honestly believe I'm destined for great things, Mr. James.
You're giving me signs that make me wonder. Maybe your mind's been changed about me.
Can't figure it out. Do you want to be like me, or you want to be me?
You think it's all made up, don't you? You think it's all yarns and newspaper stories.
He's just a human being.
Look at my red hands and my mean face. I wonder about that man that's gone so wrong.
I've been a nobody all my life. I know I won't get this one opportunity, and you can bet your life I'm not going to spoil it.
Seems to me, if you have something to confess, you spit it out now.
Hey everybody, you're listening to the Pot of Dreams. If you listen, we will pod. I'm taking the hosting reins today. Eric, Kevin, how are you fellers doing?
Woohoo! Yeehaw!
We'll be your sidekicks. I'll be your sidekick today.
I'm so sick of hearing about goddamn sidekicks. Don't need to hear nothing about them. Talking the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. It is a mouthful. I mean, it is not easy to say. I like the title, but it is mighty cumbersome. Movie I'd never seen before. I'd seen it on a lot of best of the 2000s lists, at least for the first decade of the 21st century. Wanted to get caught up. Kevin was in my same boat, but Eric, let's start with you. You've seen this. It's now your 3rd time of seeing this movie?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's correct.
Better or worse or the same on a 3rd viewing?
Oh, it just grows in my affection after every time I've watched it. The first time I watched it, I was like, this is like not the kind of Western. I wasn't feeling that kind of movie. I was like, oh, there's going to be shootouts. And
you wanted Tombstone. I get it. You wanted Tombstone. And it's not Tombstone.
It's definitely not Tombstone. No. But
okay. There's
just like the first opening sequence. The cast is incredible. Like all the back. I actually, like this time around, I thought Affleck's performance on Robert Ford was just like, whoa, like mind-blowingly good. The first time I watched it, I was like, man, he's annoying. He's just annoying. But this time I actually felt sympathy for him.
He's like, really complicated and layered.
He actually is
Brad
like,
Pitt.
Yeah. Oh, and Brad Pitt, incredible.
They're super layered, complex performances.
Yes.
I mean, everybody's good, but those are the 2 key performances. Yeah. They're incredible. Because how I felt about Robert Ford and Jesse James changed a bunch.
Right.
All the time. I mean, correctly so. And it's terrific.
It's long. It's a long movie. For me, it's too.
It didn't overstay its welcome with me. But let's get Kevin. Let's tag Kevin in here.
First of all, I don't like Westerns very much.
Oh,
There's not too many Westerns that I enjoy. And I don't understand people's fascination with Jesse James, an outlaw. I mean, he was just a psychopath that murdered people and stole from them. I don't know why he's like a cultural icon in any way, but I love this movie. I got down with it.
Oh, perfect. I'm glad to hear that. I mean, the movie kind of wrestles with that question because I'm not enamored with Western outlaws or anything either. I don't really give a shit about Jesse James or Billy the Kid or any of that stuff.
Neither do I.
But the movie reconciles with the fact that a lot of people loved him, but then hated him, and he did all this violent, awful stuff. But he's also a big-time celebrity. At one point, they likened him and Mark Twain as like the most famous Americans in the world at the time.
It's weird.
It was very weird. And they were like,
it's interesting because, like, I think the sort of government don't tell me what to do kind of like there are people that live that way now. Like, I think that's the real vibe I got from Jesse James, is that he was like, I'm not living by anybody's laws. The government's not going to tell me what to do. I'm going to do what I want to do when I want to do it. And, obviously he's a terrible human and awful person, but like, I think that's what's attractive about that idea. It's just like, I'm just going to live free. I'm going to live free.
But why Jesse James? He wasn't the only outlaw in the West. What was there anything different about him? Did he kill more people and rob more banks? I guess I genuinely don't know. Why would he resonate more with folks?
Oh, yeah, that
cool
I don't
name.
know. Yeah. Well, I mean, the end of the movie really plays on that. It's like, nobody's going to celebrate Robert Ford. Nobody's even going to talk about it. The narrator kind of mentions that. Like,
well, right, that's
Robert
part
Ford
of...
was famous only because he killed Jesse James and reenacted the performances. But I was saying before, like, in Minnesota, in Northfield, every fall,
shout out to Northfield.
There's a Jesse James reenactment, like, out there. Because wasn't a train robbery in Northfield or something like that?
Yeah, people were killed, right? Because when he's like, Robert Ford is like,
I think, didn't
he? I don't know. I looked to the Minnesota.
I mean, he murdered somebody.
Yeah, but isn't there a part where he's like, he's got 2 bullets still in him or something like that?
Yeah.
I think one of those was from the shootout in Northfield. If I have my Jesse James history correct, it doesn't really talk. You said the shout out to Northfield. I missed that in the movie. Is there one?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So he's on the train and he's like trying to reconcile that people don't love him more, right? Like he made money doing the shows or whatever, but
he thought he'd be a hero.
Right. He thought he'd be viewed as a hero, and he wasn't. And then he thought, like, what if I go to the victims of people that Jesse James has killed, like the survivors, right? Like, if I go to the wives and the offspring of men that Jesse James killed, maybe they would thank me and view me as a hero. And at one point, he looks at a woman and a kid on a train who's from Northfield. Like, I don't know. Just a very brief, I mean, it's one line towards the very end of the movie.
Okay.
It's not a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in September of 1876, Jesse James and the James Younger gang attempted to rob the First National Bank. It's called the Great Northfield Bank Raid, but was thwarted by townspeople, leading to the deaths of several gang members. I think he was shot too, but I might have that wrong.
Sure.
Yeah, we start out the movie, the younger part of the gang had already been either murdered or in jail at that time.
Right. I love that we start, I mean, just at the very end. This is the kind of like movie I like focusing on one time and place for a character rather than try to capture their entire life. We get the very end, the very last robbery Jesse James does. Most of the original gang is in debt or in jail. It's just, Jesse and his brother getting ready to do one last train robbery. And even that
they
one,
just got some petty hoodlums to help them.
Bunch of fanboys, basically. I mean, it's fascinating, right? Because when we first meet Robert Ford, he is this really pathetic, like, teenager, basically, who's just in love with Jesse James, basically, and just wants to be along for the ride to do it.
Well, he also thinks he's worthy. He's built himself up to be this character that can ride with Jesse James.
He wants to test his grit. What does he say?
His intelligence and grit or something.
Oh man, that whole intro conversation is just so incredible with
with
Frank,
with his brother.
Yeah.
Frank.
All the dialogue and conversations in this movie are incredible. There's not a single...
I forgot Jeremy Renner was in it, who plays Jesse James' cousin, I think, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And then who's the guy that plays Sam Rockwell plays Robert Ford's brother? Like, oh man, I forgot all those guys are in this movie.
Yeah, but I mean, even that robbery is so pathetic. It's like, it's scary and weird, but just a bunch of dudes in like potato sacks or whatever they are with like holes cut out, and they stand around and most of them don't do anything. They shoot at nothing and they're just standing in the darkness. It's not glamorous, but it is eerie. It just the whole vibes of that train robbery where they get very little money.
The soundtrack is just amazing during that.
Yes. Oh yeah. So atmospheric. And
Nick Cave, and he's actually in the movie.
Yeah, he's singing at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the guy with the guitar. Okay.
Yeah.
Singing the song about Robert Ford.
He did the score. Yeah.
Got it. Oh, that's good. But you can just see, like, the glory days are already over, and his older brother Frank is like done. I'm done robbing shit. I'm out. Like, we don't even get any dialogue. You just kind of see they just give each other a look. It's just this look. They just look at each other, and he just says bye, and we don't even hardly see him for the rest of the movie. It's great.
It's fast. You guys aren't intrigued by the life of an outlaw? That's not something that interests you at all? I don't know. I find that so fascinating.
Not innately.
I'm just going to go take what I want. I'm not going to... And you're stealing from banks. Like, I guess, hurting people is not ideal, but...
He almost kills the conductor guy and smacks him with the head.
Yeah, he's psycho.
I didn't think it was glamorous. I didn't think it was... At no point did I think it was cool or fun. The guy could have just given
him the money, too. Like...
What money, though?
There wasn't any money.
Wasn't there a safe or something he wasn't going to unlock for him?
They busted open and there was very little in it. They were counting it. It was a bad haul. He got a tiny sack that was like a quarter filled or whatever. Like, it was clearly not worth all the effort and the risk. This last one.
Yeah.
I like it. He didn't look glamorous. I'm not innately fascinated. This movie got me interested in it to a certain degree. But no, I don't think you just take what you want. Okay. There are consequences. People get killed. It's not... Taking what you want isn't just this like zero, like infinite thing you can do. Obviously, it doesn't work if everybody tries to do it. Yeah. Everything collapses, and I don't think, wow, I'm such a badass. That's what you want. Sure, but like a lot of dudes were killed that we don't ever see. So no, I don't know. I don't find it innately fascinating, but I don't know. I like that we start at the very end, basically, and we just slowly build up to the assassination. I just think it was really incredibly done. And seeing this complicated guy who seems to keep these like hangers on so he can kind of feel like he's in his glory days. I was trying to think of what Jesse James got out of being around these people. It seems like he just wanted
he needed some manpower for one.
This is game.
He was trying to rob other places.
Well, but we don't. He doesn't even try to rob anywhere else after this. We see the one train robbery.
They plan for it and they try to get more people, but
I think he's just kind of pretending. I don't think he ever intended to rob anywhere else. I think he just liked the idea of it.
Well, there's one super cool sequence with Rockwell where they go. Don't they go to find? Aren't they gonna go commit a heist? And they're walking on the ice, and he's like, "You ever thought of killing yourself?"
They talk about it, but they don't make serious plans.
Rockwell's like, who else are you gonna get, man? He's like, there's not as if you got a bunch of other people that are gonna come join your gang.
Well, which is why I don't think Jesse James was ever serious about it. I think he liked the idea of it, but it's fun. I want to imagine doing it, but the peak's over. He's in his mid-30s already. He's got 2 bullet wounds, and he's paranoid and stressed and miserable and depressed and suicidal, right? I mean, he talks about, you ever think about suicide? Right next to that conversation of robbing a bank with Sam Rockwell.
And that is what I thought was curious, how he thought about suicide. And at the very end of his life, he could have shot the Ford boys if he wanted to.
Well, that whole scene there really built it up like he's wanting. He knows what's going to happen.
Exactly. Yeah.
He sees the newspaper report that the one guy had been caught. Obviously, like, he knows that they know. that he could turn them all in, and right. He's like, oh, this picture's a little dusty. That part always cracks me up a little bit. It's like, oh, I'm going to turn my back here for a second. Like, hopefully nothing bad happens to me. I'm just going to look at this dusty picture up here. And he's just like standing there. Like,
well, he takes his guns off first. He's
right,
like,
let me first.
It's supposed to be obvious. Yes, he knew what was happening, man. And he knows, he even said it even before then.
Laugh,
he gives him the gun, and he's like, you're going to break a lot of hearts. I think he knows that he's going to be killed by Robert Ford, and
so he
gives him the
committed
gun.
Suicide by gang member, basically.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, he wanted to die.
Suicide by posse.
I think he was just depressed and stressed and miserable, and I don't think he wanted to be alive anymore, which is
all right.
Which adds a layer of complexity.
That was going to be a big question I had for you two guys. Is like, did he intend for that to happen?
Yeah, obviously he intended to die at the end, of course. He wasn't interested in the dust on the picture at all. Like, no, he wanted to be killed. He knew what was happening, and he's submitting himself to it. I think he was just done with the paranoia and the misery and the stress and the moving and all the injuries and psychological pain and everything.
Because, he got away with all of that. Because he had, like, a fake name, right?
Thomas Howard.
Yeah, he goes into town and got bank loans and stuff, and he basically got away with it. None of those people knew he was Jesse James.
Like, the random people didn't, but there were a lot of people who did, but that was part of the paranoia, because he knew there was a price tag out, and there was just this, like, having to worry constantly, is somebody going to snuff me out? How many people do I have to kill? Do I fellas and kill everybody that knows me? And do I want to be that violent and miserable?
Yeah, he did kill one of his posse, and I'm not sure why he did it.
Well, he thought that guy was gonna rat on him, right?
Yeah, but the
guy from No Country.
Yeah, Garrett.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna rat on him.
Yeah, that's why.
He thought he was gonna rat on him, and he was looking for the Cummins guy that he thought was in cahoots with Dick Little.
Right. Dick Little was the pedophile guy, right?
Yeah.
I thought that that's the only actor. Like, I think that guy's good, but that would have been like cool if that was like somebody that became like Tom Hardy or something,
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Tom Hardy would have been better. He would have been scarier, though. I don't know. I don't know.
No, I thought it was well cast. I thought everyone was well done.
Yeah, I didn't have any issues with any of the performances. I thought they were all good, but it was really.
So that house where was that Renner's house that all those guys stayed at? That Ford
no,
stayed
it was
at?
the sisters of the Ford.
Okay, so that was Ford's sister.
Yeah.
And okay.
And they would like kind of pay her and give her money
her husband
to stay
was there too. Yeah, that's right.
They give her some money, and then she'd make them food and let them just come and go as they pleased, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt didn't like her cooking.
That was Brad Pitt's wife. That was different.
Yeah. Brad Pitt didn't like his wife's
wife.
cooking.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, that's part of what made the ending so tragic. Is like, Jesse James and his wife and their kids had those two guys in their home who were feeding him and letting him sleep, and that's part of what, like, killing him in his home with his kids right there as part of the brutality.
And she's like, why did you do that? Or like, that her reaction was great. I thought that was incredible.
And Bob was just like, it wasn't me.
Oh yeah, gun went off. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just this fascinating buildup between these two men and Jesse James, and the slow buildup of paranoia on both sides. Because there's clearly just this deep underlying mistrust that nobody can really acknowledge or resolve, right? Because Jeremy Renner gets killed, and they don't want to tell Jesse James that because they think he'll kill them. But then, Jesse James knows something's up and is suspicious, but can't quite get it out of him.
He definitely knows.
Rockwell is not a good liar in this movie.
Yeah, he's like,
hey, what happened to your foot? Oh, yeah, I fell off the roof. Like, what are you doing on the roof in the winter? I was,
And
chasing a cat.
Cat?
Or cat. Yeah, cat or kite.
He starts with a kite and switches
like,
it to a cat. Makes
yeah,
sense.
like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Yeah, and you can tell Brad Pitt's just like, what? Clearly you're lying.
But the way he has this, like Jesse James has this like mean laugh. Laughing is this weapon he uses sometimes to like bully people. It's so like this subtle cruelty.
Yeah, I mean,
he can inflict on
was
people.
he just super charismatic? Because like the movie talks about how there were like trading cards and comic books. Like he was like a famous person. At,
Well, yeah.
you know, at the time.
him and
I mean, I
Mark
don't really
Twain
have a sense of that. Yeah,
are the
but
two-
Robert
famous
Ford grew up
Americans.
reading books about him, like serials. So yeah, he was a. I mean, they were already making money off of his likeness.
You said what? Mark Twain is the only other most famous American or something like that.
At the time, that's what they said in the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, can't verify who was the most famous in the 1880s, but yeah.
So is this movie really just about like meeting, like you meet your hero, and like what that does to a person, where you're like your hero kind of sucks,
and you're a weirdo.
Yeah, and
Well, he's a
also,
fanboy.
or was he in love with him?
Yeah,
And-
I couldn't decide if he wanted to be me or be like me. Was
Yeah.
one of the things that
Well,
Jesse James
or
said.
did you want to fuck me? Was like that was the part that like I was curious about.
Well, yeah, you don't know. The line's weird, but it is about like meeting your heroes. It's also about celebrity and infamy. And yeah, I don't know, like people. Yeah, the difference between myth and reality. Like you view him as this hero, and he's a little more cruel and pathetic than probably you envision from the comics, right? I mean, he's not just this outlaw doing what he wants. That's not the reality. He's also kind of mean-spirited at times.
But there's a reason
Yeah,
you
so he
have
is-
Brad Pitt play this guy.
No,
right?
Brad Pitt's
Like,
perfectly cast.
Yeah.
Yes, he's charismatic. People want to be around him. Clearly, they're bickering early on about who gets to stay around Jesse James, right? Like
Right.
Tim Renner's like,
Yeah.
well, I'm his cousin. That's
Yeah, and
probably
then-
some
and
nitty
then
work
when-
she wants him to do.
When Affleck comes, he's like, "Why did he ask you? What'd you guys talk about?" They're all just like begging for to be close to him.
Yeah. And he likes that. I mean, he likes the attention. I think that's
Sure.
part of what he gets is having some cronies. I think he enjoys the cruelty and the adoration and all that stuff.
And that's why they call him gregarious.
Yeah, it's really, really complex. And then, yeah, at some point, Bob Ford realizes his celebrity isn't perfect and is kind of a dick to him, and is also dangerous and isn't just going to be your best friend. Yeah, it's just so incredible. Because yeah, I just flipped back and forth on the characters all the time, how I felt about them, my perception of all. It's just great.
Yeah, and I love the realism too. The shootout between Dick Little and Woodhite.
Oh yeah,
that was incredible. It was
I
tense.
did like that. Yeah.
You wouldn't get a shootout like that in Tombstone, let me tell you.
And they were so freaked out they could barely even shoot point blank.
And the tension right before the
And
door
then
opens,
Ford,
like they're
Ford
both
shoots
there.
him in the back. Yeah. Just like he did to Jesse James.
Fucking Sam Rockwell jumped out the fucking window.
Yeah.
And fucked up his leg. Yeah, just wild.
So that's my only complaint about the movie is that it doesn't have enough shootouts. There's just not enough.
Well, they followed the story, the
Outlaws.
end story.
No, I know.
There are plenty of action westerns in the world. I was fine with one that was very, very dialogue driven, and then just had this undercurrent of tension all throughout. Just all throughout. Even when I knew what was going to happen, like I knew the movie tells you how it's going to end with the title. I'm still tense. Still, when they're in Brad Pitt, Jesse James' home, and he's doing stuff with the knife and being insane, it's still just tense and anxiety-inducing. Like, you feel the anxiety of the Ford brothers as they try to figure it out. When they're just talking, he's like, you're going to have to ask for permission if you want to leave. Or when fucking Bob Ford has to sleep in the same room as Jesse James. He tries to get up and maybe grab the gun, and he's like, I need to use the preview. You think you do, but you don't. As the gun cop. I mean, it's just so tense and incredible. It's so well shot and evocative.
Oh, the part where Ford comes in where he's in the bathtub, and he's like, Jesse James clearly notices he's standing there, and he's like, what does he say? It used to be you couldn't sneak up on Jesse James without his guns, and then he like lifts his hat up and he's got his gun sitting on the chair right there. I was like, oh wow, that's really cool. That's cool stuff.
Yeah.
And
But he does.
the movie starts with this train scene that I thought was awesome. The cinematography, it was so dark, it was so black, and the train just comes up.
Yeah.
And everything's lit with just lanterns.
It's like blurry too. Yeah.
Yeah, it was incredible.
There is some really cool, like there's the one
the lighting
scene
is immaculate in this movie.
Yeah.
Where I think it's the one part of their gang guy that, not Renner, the other guy that dies, where he sees Jesse come up over the hill and it like fades, him getting closer and closer and closer. It like sort of fades in and out until he gets to the front door. It's like, man, that's super cool.
He looks like death. There's various times where Jesse James looks like he's literally death. I know Brad Pitt was like Joe Black and Meet Joe Black, but it's like literally he looks like a harbinger of death walking around. He's like super pale and ghoulish and scary. It looks a bit like the vampire he played in Interview with the Vampire. Just terrifying. Right? You get why the character was afraid when he just sees,
yeah, well, he can't even shoot him. He knows Ed Miller, I think is his name.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He knows that he's there to kill him. And he puts his gun down and he just like acquiesces to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, is this the best Brad Pitt performance?
It's up there. It might be. He's incredible.
Yeah, it might be.
He's so good in this. It's
very layered.
It's so awesome. I mean, really, the two co-leads, I would even call. I mean, they have to be co-leads, really. Just so good.
So Casey Affleck got nominated for Best Supporting Actor. Nothing for Brad Pitt. That's a tough year. 2007 is a tough year for.
That's fine. I don't care about the Oscars.
There Will Be Blood. Okay. I find it interesting. I think that was the only nomination. Was Affleck. Loses to Javier Bardem and No Country. Like, that's.
Yes.
Good luck with that, but.
Right. Daniel Day-Lewis and There Will Be. Yeah, it's fine. That's just going to happen. Whatever. It doesn't make these performances any less great because they didn't win an Oscar. That's what I say when I don't care. Like,
not to get score is crazy though. I think Nick Cave should have got score.
Yeah, maybe. I might like the score better than the There Will Be Blood score.
Did get us Deakins. Roger Deakins is the cinematographer on this movie, so he did get nominated.
Why it's so immaculate. One of the best things.
I mean, it makes sense, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it looks so phenomenal.
If you want to see like a cool looking movie, it's almost always Roger Deakins.
Yeah. He's never shot a bad movie, like visually, at least. No, it was incredible from the get go, and I left. I wasn't bored for a second of it to put it in the Eric Lane test, but then also my mind was just kind of racing afterwards, and just the sort of epilogue at the very end, and not even the epilogue, I'm still part of the story, I guess. It's just great seeing him just come to the realization, like, yeah, people said they wanted Jesse James' reign of terror to stop, but it was probably going to stop anyway. I don't know how much robberies he had left, really. I don't think it was going to happen.
Yeah, without Frank with him, I think Frank was a big influence on him.
Right. And Frank was more pragmatic and practical and less abstract and grandiose. I was like, we just got to do X, Y, and Z for this amount of money and get it done. Move on.
Well, there is an interesting, like, they were Confederate soldiers, right? Didn't we hear some reference?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They start out talking shit about the North and what was a song about how shitty the North is. I hate everything the North does. Yeah. That's part of it. That's part of why he's probably loved in the South, because they view him as some sort of fuck you, Union bitches.
Yeah, he'd be, they'd be big Trumpers, I think.
They're gonna shoot themselves for females.
They'd have been on January 6th, storming the Capitol.
Sure.
Interesting. So Wikipedia talks about the incident in Northfield. So apparently there was the James Younger gang was big, and then after that unsuccessful robbery in Northfield is when he split up and then formed. Basically, that the Northfield thing is what led to when this movie starts.
Okay.
Is like
right
his other gang broke up, then they moved to Missouri and started the James gang that we see in this movie.
But we say gang, it's hardly a gang. It's just a bunch of cronies and Jesse James, really. I mean, gang is used pretty loosely. I mean, they rob the train. He sees him for a day or two, keeps Casey Affleck around for a couple days, and
to help him move.
Yeah, right. Just uses him for some like menial tasks, basically. And that's like it. A gang is almost like a really generous term for what that was. Because it's clear they weren't professionals. They didn't know what they were doing. At one point during the train robbery, I didn't know what they were firing at. They were like outside and they just start shooting. Like, stop shooting. They just seemed to get jittery and just fire off into the distance. And they didn't do much. They just stood outside. A bunch of them just stood outside the train, right? Like, did I miss something? Didn't a bunch just stay outside the train the whole time?
Yeah, you gotta watch for backup. Anybody coming out, get out of the train.
I guess.
You need some
but no backup came. No backup came, so they ended up doing nothing.
But you gotta have lookouts.
Well, they gotta just intimidate people and shoot in the air.
I think you are intrigued by you'd have been a good criminal. You'd like, all right, guys, we gotta organize. We gotta do this better.
Well, if I'm going to commit a crime, yes, I'm going to try to be smart with logistics. Yes.
Yeah,
I'm not going to be like, let's just go run into a bank and hold it up.
Well,
like, you have to have a plan.
Enough where they put the wood boards down to stop the train. Like they had a little bit of foresight.
I guess, but it's really the two James brothers who do almost all the work. They go in there and get almost no money.
Frank is just robbing people.
Yeah, at some point he's like, this is more profitable than trying to get the safe. But I like the conductor guy. I like the door. And they're like, you think that'll hold? No.
I don't.
No, I don't. Like, no, let's just face facts. That lock is not going to hold up for shit. But just from the get-go, just exploring the difference between myth and reality and humanity, and what does it feel like at some point? Does at this point in the movie and in his life, does Jesse James regret what he's done? Like, he doesn't say that verbally, but at some point does he think back on the men he killed and he feels bad, right? Like, we see that Robert Ford regrets killing Jesse James by the end.
Yes.
Does Jesse James have those thoughts? Does he point like, yeah, I did all this fucked up shit, now I'm really like...
I think he was more caught up in the consequences of his actions rather than any morality, because he seemed like a true psychopath. It didn't seem like he had remorse for his actions, but I think he was just concerned over how he was going to get busted for doing what he did.
It's funny you mentioned Wyatt Earp. I just Googled. So they were around at the same time, but according to the internet, Earp encountered members of James' gang, but never Jesse James himself. It's like, ooh, that would have been a cool story if they had
make some fan fiction, Eric. Draft it up.
They cross paths at some
point. Get Chat GPT to draft you up a script. Yeah. Alternate timeline.
You could fudge it a little bit.
Well, yeah. There was
based on true stories or something, Yeah,
there have been fictionalized portrayals in movies about this scenario. There was a sequel where like Charlie gets hunted down for kill by Frank James for killing his brother. That didn't happen in real life.
Right.
There's a fictionalized version where that happens.
Is everything totally historically accurate? I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they did some research.
It's pretty close. It's based on a book where I think they did a lot of extensive research. I mean, yeah, there's some dramatic license, but I think it's supposed to be as close as you could get.
So did Robert Ford, like, did he write a play and then produce, like, how they just kind of skip to him being in a play, but like, did he hire a director? Like, that was the part, is like, how did he get from shooting Jesse James to like being on stage reenacting it? Like, that seems like a huge leap. It's like the end of Raging Bull. Was like, now he's like a comedian. Like, it's like, what? I missed some steps here. Like, you know.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't go into details.
He didn't get much reward money for actually killing Jesse James, so he had to figure out ways to make money from his notoriety.
Yeah, and they were initially arrested for first-degree murder, and they spent like a month in jail, and then they were pardoned. So that was the thing that they didn't cover in the movie, but it wasn't instant reward money. It was
the James Carville thing. I didn't love.
Oh, he was great.
You thought he was good? All right.
I thought he was great.
I think he was good in that role. I wouldn't trust him in most roles. I think he'd be awful.
Why James Carville? I just didn't get that.
Maybe he loves Jesse
James. Why not
James.
like Robert Duvall or something? You know, like throw somebody.
Well, he had a real Southern accent. I thought he's a Southerner.
Yeah, he's from Louisiana, but it's fine. It still works.
I mean, maybe the governor of Missouri, not from Louisiana.
Did you think he sounded too much like Louisiana for your ears? Is that the problem? Okay.
No, I don't think so. Just
I think he's fine.
It's James Carville. It's
James Carville.
He didn't melt into the role. That's fine.
I thought he did. I was impressed by his acting.
I thought it was fine. I'm in between you two. It was not bad. It was fine. It was just fine. Jeremy Renner didn't completely melt into his role. I had multiple times like, oh, that feels like Jeremy Renner.
Was he doing like a Scottish accent at some point?
Yeah, his was the only one where his accent wasn't quite holding up as well. Yeah. It was probably a notch below. It wasn't a problem, but if I'm picking some nits, I'd go after that. But
I mean, it just made him sound a little simple. I thought maybe he was just kind of dumb.
I thought he was sort of smart. Like, I mean, we have the Ed Miller's the dumb guy. Like, he's the idiot.
Yeah, Ed Miller is really dumb.
Rockwell's pretty dumb.
Rockwell's dumb, but he also played up being dumber to like get people off the set. He wasn't totally dumb. He knew how to play up being an idiot. I think a little.
Rockwell's always kind of like that. That's just how his personality.
It's a little goofy,
yeah.
It is. Well, yeah. Even in Iron Man 2, or like 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, like he plays a guy who's just kind of dumb. Definitely not as smart as he thinks he is.
Has he ever like starred in a movie? Moon or what's
Moon. He's terrific in Moon.
Yeah,
he's absolutely great in Moon. He's got some other starring roles, but he's one of those guys that's mostly a supporting actor.
Yeah, he's always a secondary actor.
But he's good.
But he can play a villain, and he can play a good guy and a not so bright guy.
You guys know my take on Iron Man 2, right? I've told you that before. That if you cut out, no, I actually like Iron Man 2 quite a bit, but if you cut out all the stuff with the Whiplash guy, and it's if Rockwell's like just the bad guy of that movie, and it's Tony Stark and him, that's like a 10 times better movie.
Sure, if you cut out the 45 minutes of Whiplash, it would be a better movie. Yeah. It'd be a lot shorter too. Get in and out in an hour. I don't know. This movie was pretty much incredible beginning to end. I don't know. Just mine was racing, like, because it didn't seem fair to Robert Ford. It's like, what gives? And then some other person wants to kill him, and he gets murdered by some random psychopath who's pissed that Jesse James isn't still alive, even though there was reward for Jesse James and people were sick of him, but also not sick of him. I don't know. Just great stuff. But he also was kind of a psychopath. Like, he was just a sociopath without a lot of structure to stop him, because it was the Wild West.
Talking about Jesse James or Bob Ford?
Jesse James, that's who I'm talking about. But
Jesse James.
He killed a psychopath who killed a bunch of people, allegedly 17 people, and then people view it as some great tragedy. It's fascinating. But I think the story's pretty accurate. I don't know.
Why is he the coward, Robert? Because he shot him in the back?
Yes.
Well, I think that's how he was viewed by the public. I think there's some irony in the title.
Yeah.
Is he a coward? Is he more or less of a coward than Jesse James?
Well, because they at one point it's like, why'd you do it? And he's like, I thought my life was in danger, and it was. I mean, I think most of the time he does think Jesse James is gonna kill him.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
He's living in fear. Also,
yeah. But he also wanted the glory.
Jesse James puts a knife to his neck.
Right.
On the lark.
Well, and then finding out that the Dick Little guy's caught, like that puts him in extreme danger.
Yeah.
He was worried about it, but even before then, right? Like
that's why he's hiding the paper from me. Remember, he like slides it under the couch so Jesse James doesn't see it.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "How did he?" That whole sequence makes me laugh. It's like he sees the little paper sticking out. It's like, "Oh, I'll take that paper." And sits down. Like, "Oh, Dick Little was
even that scene was so well executed. And then he stops when he gets to the article. It's so well executed. He's stirring his tea or whatever, and then stops, and you're like, "Oh shit!" This little motion becomes really tense. Yeah, and this little twirling motion.
Affleck's like looking at the paper and like, "Oh gosh, he's gonna get there." Yeah.
But he's worried even before that. Jesse James kind of threatens him. Like when they're at his sister's house, he's like, "You remind me of this George fella. I was supposed to watch his nephew, and he had $5,000 on him, and he ended up dead. And I got that George fella. Had a bunch of guns on him and murdered him." Right? Like all of Jesse James' jokes are about him murdering people. Basically, that's every joke is him committing murder. I don't know. So it just seems like a guy that could kill you at any moment. Like if he's a psychopath, how can you trust him to not murder you? Even if you didn't betray him, but especially if you did.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I didn't think Ed Miller was gonna betray him, and he murdered him in cold blood. And that was a amazing scene when he's just riding behind him, and you kind of see, I mean, that specter of death that we talked about, and you just kind of see the pistol being drawn, and then a very violent shot through the heart.
And then he's soothing his horse right after. It's so fascinating. I love it. Like, it's okay, sweetheart. Like, just immediately. That guy wasn't probably doing anything. Like, he had no family or kids or anything. He lived by himself in a shack and was sick. And he's like, he said he had $600 stored away, which $600 is a nice savings in 1881.
Oh, yeah.
Like he was fine. What was he gonna do? He's just some random redneck in the woods. But yeah, just terrific.
There's if there's reward money, I mean that's why you can't trust any of those guys. Is like once you find out that there's money on your head, they could just turn you in.
Hasn't there been money on his head for a while?
Yeah, but he knows where he is. I mean that guy.
But then why not worry about who you're doing stuff with, right? When he meets Robert Ford, he said, I'm never much worried about who I'm doing a job with or whatever he says when he first meets Robert Ford.
He's not careful.
If you're that paranoid, why do that? Like, why not be more selective with the people you're going to work with? Why not have a smaller crew? Why not just like not let everybody possible? How did they know where Jesse? I guess there was that poker game that happens off screen. I don't know. Like, I don't know. This movie is so complicated in the best way. Every time I have a thought, then yes, there's like a counter thought to that thought, and it just goes back and forth.
I found this movie very intriguing. I wanted to know more about what Jesse was thinking during this times that he was talking to Robert Ford, and I wanted to know more about Robert Ford as well.
Yeah. Because he seems so pathetic, and he kind of is, but he's also is kind of smart. He's really not an idiot. He is like studying people all the time, and
Rockwell says that to him when he's trying to pitch him on, like they have that conversation where he's trying to pitch him on joining the gang, and he's like, what does he say? Like, I can see you're not gonna like you're wearing me down on this or something like that, and he's like, yeah, that's the point, Jesse. Like, but he's telling him like how smart he is. He's like, he's actually really smart, and not like me or whatever. Like, so yeah, I think you're supposed to believe that he's like and he thinks he's like a talent, like I'm destined for great things, or what he says some weird line about that.
Right. Well, he reminded me of Nightcrawler, right? The Jake Gyllenhaal movie.
Yeah.
He felt like the character from Nightcrawler, especially at the very beginning, and he still kind of is all throughout the movie. But he mellows out a little bit. But it's like, yeah, here's this creepy weirdo who just wants to get famous, and I don't know that it started off that way. I think he just wanted to, roll with the legendary Jesse James. Commit a robbery
he
with
was
him.
obsessed with him since he was like 12 or something.
Yeah.
And he rattles off all these insignificant facts about him and Jesse James. I thought that was a really good scene.
Yeah. Oh, it was
of
terrific.
like, oh yeah, we're alike.
At the table, yeah.
Yeah, we're both 5'8".
Youngest of 3 brothers. I'm the youngest of 5. Yeah. Just great stuff. I don't know. I don't have anything bad to say about this movie. This was very incredible.
5-star banger for you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. 5 out of 5. Can't think of a single meaningful flaw this movie has. It was immaculately shot. The music's great. The performance is incredible. It is long, but it wasn't too long for me. I didn't need more action. It's not an action movie. The action that happens is tense, impactful, really meaningful. It's not just a bunch of quick cuts of, Kurt Russell shooting a bunch of people at a distance, just kicking ass. No, this is not that movie. It's not about heroes and villains, and I don't know. It's fantastic. It's one of the best westerns ever. Would be in my top 5. It's up there with Unforgiven. It's just terrific. It's up there with The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. It's incredible. So anyway, yeah. I don't know how else to say it. It's worth a watch.
Yeah, I before you recommended this movie, I wouldn't have touched it with a 10-foot pole. I had no interest in Jesse James or watching a Western. But the first time I watched it, I ended up watching it twice because we had a couple of weeks in between.
Sure.
So the first time I watched it, I thought it was a solid 4-star movie. But the second time I watched it, I really fell in love with the world building that they did.
Oh, it's great.
And this dialogue, even the simple banter between the groups, I thought really was really got to me, and I appreciated everything about the movie more. Every nuance, every little detail, just really stood out, and especially at the end when he does prepare for his death, you definitely feel that more the second time I watched it. Because the first time it did seem kind of weird that he's just like, oh, look at this dusty thing. And
I hate dust. Got to take care of it right now. Don't need my guns for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But on second viewing, you could see that he was more deliberate about it and it was more planned.
Well, he even looks in the reflection and sees it's happening.
That, the only people that know that happened would be Ford and his brother, right? No one else saw that. So it's just, did Ford write a story or in his like explanation of what happened, say like Jesse wanted me to kill him? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's a nuance that the movie created that didn't necessarily exist in reality. But maybe I'm wrong. Because who else would know that happened?
Well, his brother.
And the fact that he was shot in the back, he had to have turned around.
Well, yeah, but sure, that could have been a situation, and he didn't have his guns on him, but like there was some point where he did have his guns on him. The picture with the dusty thing, like that feels like a movie created.
So you think in real life Jesse James didn't know he was going to die?
The play had that, right? In the reenactment, he's dusting the picture.
It's possible it went out differently. I don't know if those would be more or less flattering. I mean, if you're going to make up a story, why not make up one that's a little cooler?
Why did he make it that? Because it's his story, right? It's Robert Ford's story of how he killed Jesse James. Why did he make it so like stupid and he stood up there and I mean, because in the reenactments, it's not as if he's. I suppose he's wanting an applause, right, at the end, and he doesn't really get it. Isn't that? Doesn't the first time we see it, he shoots him in the back, and
he gets
like,
applause for the show for a while. I mean, he did the show 800 times or whatever they said. Yeah. So he's got the applause, and then he started getting mad when
guy threw
sentiment turned on him, right? Yeah. Like there was a heckler, like coward, murderer.
And Charlie started turning on him too.
Right.
Yeah. Got real nasty, and I don't know, but I mean, they had to make some money from it. And when I looked it up on Wikipedia, because I got a lot more fascinated by this story too, because of the movie. I mean, I think he like signed stuff and did whatever he could to take his notoriety and infamy to make whatever money he could off of it. Because he got the reward money, but I don't know that it was that much, and he just wanted to be famous. According to the movie, he became very famous. Like everybody across the world knew what his face looked like.
Yeah, he was more famous than the president.
That's what they said. Yeah, I don't know if that's true, but
outside of this movie, I wouldn't even know who Robert Ford is. If this movie didn't exist, there's no way I would know who that is.
That's true. I mean, it didn't.
Sure,
it's not like John.
But at the time.
Yeah, but I know who. I would have known who Jesse James is.
Well, that's what's interesting, right? I mean, the movie criticized. I mean, like somebody offered $50,000
line of the movie. Like, isn't there something about how there aren't any festivals that celebrate Robert Ford? He's basically lost to time.
Yeah, that's a big part of it. Like somebody offered $50,000 for Jesse James's body, according to the movie, right? Like that's wild. Just for his body, people were paying money to see it. They'd paying a quarter or whatever to see his
body
on ice. Crazy. I'm sure that fact is probably correct. But I mean, John Wilkes Booth we know, but that one had a lot more political consequences. I don't think people care as much about Jesse James in 2026 as they did in the 19th century. So that's part of it. Because to me, Jesse James shot a bunch of people and then eventually got shot himself. Whoopity-doo. So I don't know. But I just, it was real enamored of this movie. I'm glad that
as was I. I mean, I appreciated it didn't glamorize any of the violence. It was just raw and real and ugly. It's like in the beginning of the train robbery, he just belts the guy in the head and he's just dripping with blood.
Yeah.
And that was very stark imagery.
God, even Jeremy Renner's death, right? Like there's a shootout, he gets shot in the head, and he's laying there. And the people in the house are so matter of fact about it.
Yeah.
Like,
I'd offer you something
your
to
last
drink.
fight, but I think you choke on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you better get him before he moves on with his journey, and his blood's just dripping outside of his head wound, and he's just laying there. And they don't have anything to do with the body at first. They just leave him on a bed for a while because they got to figure out what to do. And the guy he played Paul in the first 2 seasons of Parks and Rec. I can't.
Yes,
I don't know the actor's name.
Yes. Yeah, that's where that guy's from. Yes.
Dick Little.
Yeah, and even he's like, he gets shot in the leg, and he's like, it hurt something fierce or whatever his line is, because he's just laying in bed because he's can't go to the doctor, so he's just got to sit there and like hope his leg heals on its own, basically. Just like matter of fact, everybody just gets on with it. I don't know. Even that was just felt real and rough. And that was
because he had slept with Renner's dad's
wife.
Yeah,
right.
His
clearly a second or third or wife, right. Like
because he's an older guy. Yeah,
an old guy who probably doesn't fuck much anymore.
So like Jesse James's uncle, his wife, right?
Correct. Yeah. Correct. Jesse James's step aunt.
Step aunt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, would be his aunt by marriage.
I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, it's a 4.5 star movie. Really like it a lot. Too long, and I would have liked to seen some cowboy stuff, some bandit stuff. Robbing a.
Maybe if they started with the Northfield.
Yes.
Shootout.
I wanted to see Jesse James be good at being an outlaw. Because we never see that.
I love that we don't see him be good at being outlaw.
No,
I would
wanna
hate
see
this
him be good
movie
at being outlaw.
25% less at least if we had to see him in his heyday. I love that we don't see his heyday. I love that we see him on the very back end of his career, and he's just kind of sad and pathetic.
I agree.
I would like to see a little bit of Jesse James being a good
badass.
outlaw. Yeah.
A tough, bold, mean son of a bitch. No, that would. I'm so glad they didn't go with that route. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a perfect
All right.
movie. I love it. If you want Tombstone, go watch Tombstone. You know?
Interesting. We never once talked about the director of the movie, Andrew Dominic.
Yeah, I don't.
So he made a movie called Chopper, which I've never seen. Eric Bana's in it.
Is
And
it
then he
about a helicopter?
No, it's about a gangster guy. Eric Bana's like gained a bunch of weight for it.
Okay.
It's an Australian movie, I think. Yeah,
Does
it's a
anyone
crime
care
movie.
about it?
No, it was like an independent movie, and then he made this, and then he made Killing Them Softly. I don't know if you guys have seen that. I
saw the Brad
watched
Pitt
part
movie. I
of
never
it.
saw it.
Yeah, I watched part of it. It's a real slow burn crime movie. And then he made Blonde, which is a movie about Marilyn Monroe a few years ago, and that's about it.
Okay. Well, that's weird. Okay.
It's weird, right? Isn't it?
Directed one of the best movies I've seen in a while, and none of those movies
It's interesting,
have I ever.
right?
I remember people talking about. I was still listening to podcasts a lot when Killing Me Softly came out, and everybody kind of said it was interesting, but fell flat. It was kind of.
I've watched part of it. And I remember falling asleep. Honestly, that's
Okay.
my memory of it.
Not enough shootouts.
I thought it was very slow.
Yeah. Well,
but interesting. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say. Good movie. Check it out. Sam Shepard. I guess we didn't say his name, but he's.
yeah. I mean, he kills his like
Ford's brother.
4 scenes or whatever.
Right,
Yeah.
in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah. You sicken me. He clocks him straight away. Like
Yeah, he
something about
dresses him down Bob Ford down so well.
Yeah.
It's
like you're a climber and you sicken me, and I don't want to associate with you. I don't want sidekicks. See, Brad, Jesse James wants sidekicks. That's the difference. Sorry, I mean he just really wants sidekicks. He loves having sidekicks.
The trailer popped up that I was looking at, and the scene where they're smoking cigars, and Casey Affleck's clearly like getting sick from smoking it. He's like, "You don't have to keep doing that." Like, I just thought that was such a great. Yeah, they do paint Ford as kind of a weasel. Yeah. Good film.
Early on.
Watch yourself when you're dusting your dusty pictures. Good shot in the back. That's
maybe you want to leave your 6 shooters on when you're doing your dusting.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's Jesse James. I'm picking, right? Is it?
Yes,
my
sir.
Pick for the next.
Right the ship. Get us more shootouts. Get us more action. We don't want none of this boring talking shit.
We're gonna watch Tombstone again. No, the movie I picked is actually from 1997.
Okay.
And it's directed by a guy named Luis Loaosa. Not sure if that helps you. It's a cult classic movie that has spawned an entire film series where there is five sequels.
Okay, what was the movie that was at least a moderate or cult hit in '97 that made a bunch of sequels that some of which probably really suck? 97.
Yeah,
kind of like a Tremors type movie.
Had a budget of $45 million and made $136 million.
Well, that's a hit.
It has a pretty low Rotten Tomatoes score.
Okay.
I just had it here. 41%.
You're not really selling me on this movie here.
It stars. Here's some of the actors in it: Danny Trejo, Owen Wilson, Eric Stoltz, and Ice Cube. Those aren't the stars of the movie, but they're in it.
Okay.
Okay.
Nothing? No ideas, huh?
Nope.
The stars of the movie are Jennifer Lopez and John Voight.
Oh, Anaconda?
Anaconda. Yeah.
Wow.
Anaconda,
What?
1997.
Gosh, I don't think I've ever seen it. I'm aware of it. I don't think I ever actually watched it.
It's on Netflix. So one of the films in the film series just came out. It's a movie starring Jack Black and
Sure.
Paul Rudd where they remake Anaconda.
I can't. Paul Rudd sucks. Don't you agree?
So I thought, loved this movie when I saw it. When I saw it in the theater, the film burnt out and the entire thing flamed up, and they had to give us our money back. So
I think you've told me this story before.
yeah,
It's like the film didn't want to exist; it just immolated itself. Yeah, like I don't know. I don't want to exist in this world anymore. Okay, I'm glad. I've never seen it. I'm aware of it.
It's a good bad movie. So just
I
enjoy
understand
how bad it's gonna be. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be entertaining, but very aggressively stupid. I'm prepared for the opposite of the Assassin. I'm a movie that's just super dumb and thoughtless. Sounds fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Have you seen it, Kevin?
I have not seen it.
All right. Okay. Good.
I've tried to avoid seeing it
for a very long
life.
time.
So did you go back to a theater when so you go to watch it and the theater burns up, the film burns up? Then do you have to go back to the theater to see it another time, or how did you end up seeing it?
Yeah, I remember being upset because they just gave us they're like, here's a free ticket. I was like, that's not a free ticket. I paid to see the movie. You just gave me something that I already paid for. Yeah. Well, it wasn't even a refund. I didn't get my money back. I just got a ticket for another movie.
That's not sufficient restitution. Need to get some contract lawyer involved.
I didn't think so.
Okay.
I think me and a buddy hung around and saw the next showing or something like that. Like it was in a different theater.
Wow.
Somewhere in St. Paul?
Harmar Theater for sure, dude.
Okay.
Harmar
we were taking the city bus out there.
Here.
I would have been, 14, 15.
Heck yeah. 15-year-old Eric. Oh man. Was it PG-13?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah. It might be rated R.
I really don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Not seeing it here. Yeah.
Okay.
Is there a lot of good shots of J-Lo?
Oh yeah, this is peak J-Lo for sure.
All right.
Well, yeah, this is right around
on
out
Netflix.
of sight.
Check it out. Yeah. Anaconda. Okay. Big giant snake.
All I know is my Anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, hun. You can do side bends and sit-ups, but Eric, please don't lose that butt, man.
All right, we'll close with that. Thanks for listening.
Bye-bye.